Important is that we really establish that this is a humanitarian crisis, and we're here.
South Shore residents responded with resounding rejection.
While this crisis may constitute an emergency for the city of Chicago, it does not constitute an emergency for the South Shore community.
Incoming migrants have overwhelmed district police stations by the hundreds.
It's my turn. It's my turn. Hello.
But city leaders could barely eke out a word of the details about a proposed respite center at the former South Shore High School.
When it comes to the total number of people at South Shore at any given point in time, it is fluid. We'd start with 250, 500.
How could you do that without consulting us?
I am concerned with safety in the area.
Democrats. Oh.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. My oh my, if it's not the consequences of my own actions chasing me. People who voted for Democrats for the last 100 years. Populations and areas of Chicago who have allowed the Democrat Party to have full and total control of their lives and their voting machines and their voting systems, and the consequences of those policies are now coming home for the people in the South Side of Chicago. Remember, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, those people are from the South Side of Chicago. Barack Obama's presidential library is going to the South Side of Chicago, and Barack Obama needs cheap Guatemalan labor to clean his library. Migrants dumped in Chicago shelter could destroy black communities, residents say. Get a load of these white supremacists. Get a load of these great replacement theory advocates here. Chicago is one of many U.S. cities overwhelmed by illegal immigrants crossing the southern border. Black people in Chicago are losing their over the fact that they will get only couple hundred migrants into their communities. They are freaking out. And there are places in Texas that have had tens of thousands, if not millions, of migrants dumped on them. These people are going apoplectic in this predominantly, overwhelmingly black community because of 200 migrants that are going to be dropped in an old abandoned high school. In fact, they're suing the city to stop migrants from entering an old high school. Residents have shouted down plans for the school blasted by the city with poor communication, growing a humanitarian crisis as the leaders systemically ignored the neighbors' needs in the mostly black community. Now they are suing. South Shore residents have filed a lawsuit hoping to block the city's efforts to open a respite center in former neighborhood high school. Why is there a former neighborhood high school? By the way, this is just for 250 to 500 migrants. Just for 250 migrants. These people have zero. You get nothing. You have zero empathy for me. Nothing. You people voted for Democrats. You clapped and applauded Barack Obama's immigration policy. You thought it was hilarious when illegal criminal migrants flooded red states, and now it's happening in your neighborhood. You voted for it. I hope that they drop 1 million more migrants on you. Unbelievable. I'm so disgusted by this. South Shore neighborhood in the south side of Chicago had its population nearly cut in half from its peak some 50 years ago. 40% decrease in residents in this area. So this is what they do. They look at these numbers and they're like, well, let's pack it full of people again. And now the individuals who are left there are losing their minds. Check out some of these interesting comments from the alleged white supremacists living in these neighborhoods.
Politically, having over 500 people in our community would completely wipe out any interest we have. Are you aware that there are immigrant advocates at state houses all over this country who are advocating for non-citizen voting in local elections?
Oh my.
What if that happened here?
Uh-oh.
That would change the mindset of what we as a black community need to thrive here in Chicago.
Uh-oh.
That's a concern of ours.
Oh my.
This is much bigger than the mayor of Chicago or Chicago Police Department. This is an effort to destroy our neighborhoods and silence our voices even further.
Destroy our neighborhoods and silence our voices by bringing in people who aren't legal citizens and giving them the right to vote. Wow, oh wow, how unbelievably and incredibly based. These people are, they're suing the city. They're going apoplectic because 250 migrants, but they know that's just the start.
For the meeting, a small protest of South Shore neighbors demanding the energy put into the migrant issue be put into their neighborhoods.
It is a slap in the face that we as citizens of the United States of America do not have the resources and support, but you're going to bring people who are not citizens here in our community, in our buildings that we pay taxes for, that you took away from us. That is completely unacceptable. We are in a humanitarian crisis right now. The black people in Chicago are bleeding on the streets.
Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson had this to say about the migrant crisis.
We have a responsibility to make sure that families who are seeking love and support here in the city.
You get nothing. Willy Wonka, baby. You get nothing. You voted for these people. You voted for these policies. You walked around like a clown world with a Biden-Harris sticker on your car. You walk around worshiping Barack Obama like he's Jesus. You thought everything was gumdrops and chocolate water fountains until it happens to you. What do you hear in these clips? Great replacement theory, right? Because of the makeup of the community, what they're saying here, and it's not racist if you say that it's black people being replaced, okay? So they're saying, and again, I'm just simply taking these individuals, these activists at their word inside of this black community in Chicago, that they are scared of being replaced. They're scared of illegal criminal migrants getting the right to vote, taking their jobs, taking their homes, taking away their power. Oh, interesting. It's funny how these people aren't being called racist, at least not yet.
Forum was a chance for city leaders to get input from the public about the old South Shore High School housing migrants. The city got their input. A packed house at the South Shore International College Prep High School. The crowd voicing their opinion, strongly opposing the addition of migrants in their community.
I am just outraged. I'm outraged, and I don't understand why our community was chosen.
City representatives saying the old South Shore High School would not be a shelter, but one of 3 respite centers for the migrants to temporarily sleep, eat, and take a shower, starting with about 250 people taking up the building's first floor. This is a way for the city to get the current 300 migrants out of the police station.
Okay, so let's begin here. So you open up the borders, you entice people to come to this country, you open up the borders, they come here, they have no jobs, we have a collapsing economy and a collapsing currency, they have no place to stay, they have to sleep inside the floor of the police station, and then you move them into the places in your city which have an inconvenient population. What do I mean by that? Well, the population of 54,000 is named after the city's long southern lakefront. The area has seen a greater than 40% increase in 40% decrease, in residents since Chicago's population peak in the 1950s. Oh, okay. So it's dangerous. The people who are left and stuck there are in a declining population. The population has been cut in half in the last 70 years. So what are you going to do? Globalists are going to ship you new people. That's what's going to happen. You want to abort your babies? You want to kill your young men on the side of the street? That's fine. We're going to ship in a different, more compliant population to replace you. Not my words. That's what the activists in Chicago are saying. Cities across the United States are bracing for an influx of migrants. Title 42 is set to expire. Title 42 is just the COVID rule that allowed them to get rid of them, send the migrants back across the border because of the pandemic. Coast to coast, many of those cities are finding that they don't have the resources to handle the demand, including Chicago, as migrants have returned, has resulted in support and pushback. Buses are sent to Chicago from Texas. Their final destination is Union Station. City officials confirm Fox 32 that only one migrant bus has been sent to the city from the Texas border since January. That bus arrived on Tuesday. They are anticipating more in the coming weeks. Oh my. Why would any leader put our black communities already riddled with crime at further risk by placing unvetted, non-taxpayers steps away from our seniors, our children? Says J. Darnell Jones, clear white supremacist. If the city's plans go through, the school building would become a site where migrants could temporarily sleep, eat, and shower. Aren't you worried about just being a humanitarian, sir? Darnell Jr.? Where is your heart? Where is your soul? I thought that's why you voted for Joe Biden. Interesting. The consequences of your own actions chasing you now. You have zero empathy from me. Zero. Meanwhile, in Florida, we just passed legislation, E-Verify legislation, where you can't work here if you're an illegal criminal migrant. Boom. That's how you start. That's at least how you start. DeSantis sending migrant flights to Martha's Vineyard. That's how you start, okay? Really interesting story here. Would love to go to Chicago and actually cover this. Till then, it's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.